What is up, guys? Welcome back here to another Rise of Kingdoms content. Rockers, we have a news for you. There is going to be a great migration coming up pretty soon. This great migration is here with 3076. We're going to talk about this in a little bit more in here. Now, I recently did a video about the top two Filipino kingdoms, and this is one of the Filipino kingdoms that I didn't get to discover. Now, although I've written thesis for Rise of Kingdoms since 2008, if you guys didn't get the joke, then I don't know. You guys got no humor. But, I can only do the best I can, reach out to people, get all the information, but it's also still difficult to get all the exact information. So if there are Filipino kingdoms out there that we're missing out, the kingdoms that are led by mainly Filipinos, and 90% to maybe, I would say, it would be nice if it's 100%. But I'm just trying to give it a leeway of 90%. But if there are any kingdoms out there that are 90 to 100% led by Filipino players, please do let me know in the comment section, or maybe just reach out to me on the Discord or Facebook or Instagram. Don't message me in game. I'm not going to check it. I don't check messages in the game. All right. So reach out to me outside. It's better. Now, the thing here that we're going to see is that there's going to be a great migration here for 3076, as we recently mentioned about the top two Filipino kingdom-led council. They're going to be coming in here. The 1252, some of the players there will be moving into 3076 for a new journey. This is a newer kingdom, by the way. This is 3076. This is not an old kingdom. So this is also in the lower seed, but they're looking into having a potential of making this kingdom great. So they definitely deserve this attention that we're going to be providing to this video. My name is Shinchi42. If you guys like Rise of Kingdoms videos, subscribe to the channel, or if you just want to follow me as a content creator, subscribe. We're also thinking about planning to get into PC gaming. So if you want to get into PC gamings, follow us over here as well. So 3076, I've talked to the leader in here, who is the guy named called Captain Boogie. This guy who is a 100 million power player with 8.5 billion kill points. Now you can see that this guy has this avatar frame. All right, when you got this frame, you're not a free to play. He's not a free to play. I just want to say that. So this guy spends money into the game as well, and he's done 51 million deads. That is a lot of deads. Honestly, that's way more than deads than me. Double. He has a lot of KP as well in here. So you can see in here that they have a fighter leader in this kingdom. Now, granted that this kingdom is still young. This is not an old kingdom yet. This is still in KVK 3, which I'm going to show you in a little bit in here. Now, I've spoken to this guy, Captain Boogie, in Facebook, and this is one of the reasons why we know what's going on a little bit. What I see and what I kind of feel with him is that he seems like a very knowledgeable guy within the game, and I think he has a lot of compassion. So sometimes when we meet players within the game, they lack the empathy, the compassionate, and most of the people, sometimes, not all I would say, but sometimes we meet a lot of players that are just full of ego as well, and it's all about them when it comes to governing a kingdom. So what I see when I spoke to this guy, he seems like very genuine and seems to be like a good player and just looking out to make this kingdom great. And he knows that they are in a lower bracket of kingdom, and he's trying to bring it up. And with the movement in here, Jay from 1252 and his team will be joining the 3076. I think it's a great move on what is going to happen in here. I'm calling this the great migration for the Filipinos in here, because this could be the future of a full-fledged Filipino kingdom. Now, I think there are still international players in here, for sure, because we can never prevent that. But I think this is going to be more of a Filipino dominant player-based kingdom after this migration. So this migration the Jade's team will be integrating into this one, and they're going to be in the council as well. So this is going to be looking good for the team for 3076. And like I said, this is still a young kingdom. There's still a lot of potential in here. 3076, very, very young. When we look into zooming out in here, all right, so we can see 3076. You can see that they are currently in the light and darkness. So when we look into preparation season, you can see the newest kingdoms that are being released right now is 3321. So 3076 is really not that far off when we think about it in comparison to my account or to my kingdom that I am in. So mine is a bit more older than this, even though we just really got into our second season of conquest, but this is still relatively newish kingdom in my opinion. So they have a lot of room for improvements, a lot of room for potential to become one of the great Filipino kingdoms in here. I'm not going to say they are right now, but eventually if we watch it, it could be one of the greatest Filipino kingdoms to be made since. All right, so one thing that I want to say, maybe you're not Filipino, you're watching this video and like, why am I watching this video? Am I gonna migrate into this one? So even if you're an international player, I would say you may want to consider it. You may want to consider it, really. You'll never know if you'll fit in. If you don't try to reach out, then you'll never know if you're going to be able to fit into the group. So I would say if you're looking for a lower seed kingdom at the moment and you want to help them build, that's the key thing, building. If you want to be a part of the building process and you're becoming one of the greatest kingdom eventually in the future, then you want to reach out now and see if it's a good fit for you and what can you contribute, what can you offer to this kingdom. So there might be players out here, man, they might just not like it that we're promoting this kingdom, but at the end of the day, we do what we do here for our channel. My goal here is to help these lower kingdoms as well, these kingdoms that maybe not getting all these attentions, not getting all these hype, to broadcast it. So if you guys are thinking about like you want to broadcast your kingdom, you guys can go to my Discord. You can look on my Discord. We have a tab there for broadcasting kingdoms out here, so you guys can reach out to me. Now this one, we're just doing this out of good nature or goodwill because these are fellow Filipinos. I grew up in the Philippines. And, I'm as Filipino as I can be, right? That's all I got to say. I don't need to prove to anybody. I grew up in the Philippines. I ate Filipino food. I was born and raised in the Philippines, basically. I speak my mother tongue pretty much is Filipino. So English is my second language. Even though we speak it well, it is still my second language. All right, so looking into the alliance in here, it's going to be the Demon Slayer. Sounds like an anime type of Captain Boogie is the leader and about 5.2 billion power. And like I said, he's got 8.5 billion KP here for the leader. He definitely put in some work in here. And one of the things that I want to say is that this guy as a leader actually is putting some real work. So you can see he's not just one of those leaders who just boss you around. He's actually doing the work, leading by example. And I think that's a very good quality of a leader in the game. So he is leading by example. You can see some good amount of honor points in here. So he's very active, very, very good. That's something that I like to see from a player in Rise of Kingdom. So looking into the player base in here, we can see there's a lot of Filipinos. You can definitely see it by having that PH symbol. A lot of Filipinos in here. I don't know how many, but we can definitely see a lot of Filipinos. Maybe they have a fraction amount of international players in here. And, if you guys are kind of agitated, I would really recommend that you guys just daddy chill it out. Daddy chill. All right. So you can see this one. Artificial intelligence can't replace you if you are not intelligent. So I like it. Just looking at that one player in here, seems like this kingdom has some great sense of humor. A lot of times within the community of Rise of Kingdoms, a lot of players are just too, I don't want to say some bad words in here, but they don't have the sense of humor. They're just too uptight, too close-minded, and too serious. Like, you got to loosen up, spread that cheeks, and enjoy the game. That's all I got to say. So yeah, everybody's too uptight, but just looking at this kingdom, looks like they have a good path in here for a great migration with the 1252 J being one of the well-known Filipino players because he is one of the admins, or I think he owns the Facebook page for the Philippines. So it's definitely something to look forward into. I'm very excited for this kingdom on what they are going to be bringing in once they get into the season of conquest. The migration will happen after the KVK 3. So it's good time for you guys to reach out now. I believe this kingdom is one alliance base at the moment. So I don't know the full history, but sometimes I know honestly there's a lot of kingdoms that just lacks the exposure. And this is, why they don't get a lot of people coming into their kingdom. They don't get the exposure. So with this, we're giving them exposure, and hopefully as you're watching, you might want to look into this. Now, when I put kingdoms into my videos, into my channels, I don't just put random kingdoms as well. I speak to the people, I speak to the leadership, and I get the feel of who they are. If I don't like the people and I don't feel that this is a kingdom that I would recommend or personally I would go to, I would not even put it into the channel in here. And if I ever do it, I will always, say that I made a mistake, but I haven't done that yet. We've never came across that type of situation yet. So I'm, going to share this to you guys. And this is why you're seeing this right now. This is a kingdom that you may want to consider going into. 3076. They're trying to build a Filipino-based community in here. Maybe one of the best Filipino community in the future. But if you are an international player, you can still reach out. And I'm sure they will love to have you. Us from the Philippines, man, we love people from all over the world. Filipinos are one of the most friendliest people in the world, in my opinion. I know there are, of course, outliers that are not friendly, but for the general, consensus in here, Filipinos are usually, typically, I'm changing my tone in here, but typically they're very, very happy and very welcoming players, very welcoming people. So, I'm one of them. I have that type of mentality and that type of culture as well. And this is why you see I'm just chill and just enjoy having fun playing the game. I'm not too, uptight. But anyway, look into this kingdom. I think it's worth it to spend some time to reach out to the leadership, speak to Captain Boogie. He's a good guy, and I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit like, and peace out.